Good morning, my name is Jacob Folger and I'm an artist sculptor, and today I'm going to show you how to make a jewelry pendant with copper wire and polymer clay. And this is a really fun project. It's fairly easy. We're working with, in this case, 18 gauge copper wire, craft wire. I actually bought this at the bead store I like to go to. I got 10 yards in the spool for $6.50. I also think if you look around online, you might be able to get it for a little bit cheaper. And then I'm using Sculpey 3 Polymer Clay for a bead that will go on it. And I use Sculpey 3 a lot. I'm very happy with it, but you might have another polymer clay that you prefer. I work in black because I like the finishes on the black and the finishes that I do on the black. Now I'm going to start off with a little bit of a length of wire, and I like to cut off a piece that I'm going to work with, as opposed to leaving it on the spool and having the spool kind of hanging and swinging like a pendulum. Kind of gets on my nerves. It is helpful to have like a little pair of wire cutters, but you can use a decent pair of scissors also to cut it. And so I cut the length there. And now on this piece, I'm gonna do a closure first for it. Where it will actually hang from. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the wire along the length. I'm using a paintbrush as a way to form the wire around for the closure. And I'm going to hold that wire to the length of the paintbrush end, bend it at a right angle, and then I'm going to start to wrap it around like that. Basically what I'm doing is I'm wrapping around the end so that it won't be exposed. And if you go around 2 or 3 times like that, that's what it should look like. You can then slide it off here and give it a squeeze, and it's a nice neat closure. And then you can take your snips and just snip off that end. You do want to be careful of wire when it comes off. You definitely don't want that on your floor. It could stick you, or your pets or whatever, so you want to watch out for that. And now you can draw a sketch of what you want to make and then sort of follow that. I'm just going to kind of go freestyle here. This tool here is a tool for making jewelry. It's a needle nose type thing, and it has it's round and smooth, each little end, so it doesn't mar the metal. It's not absolutely necessary, but certainly makes things a lot easier. And you could probably get that at a bead store or jewelry making supply. I think they cost around $10. So what you want to do is grab the end. Now I'm going to just do a spiral design, and I'll show you how I do that. But before I start that, I'm going to make my bead. I'm going to take a little bit of clay here, roll it into a ball, and then I'm going to just roll it oblong a little bit, like that. And then I'm going to carefully skewer that. Try to get it to go, right through to the center and coming out the center here. While it's on there, I still can form it and then bring it up to the closure like that. And then I'll bake that. I'll bake the whole thing when I'm done. So now I'm going to grab the end with the little pliers here and slowly spin it around so it looks like this. And then I'm going to grab the end again and just keep on slowly turning it. And creating this little spiral, you can see. I find that by grabbing the end and just turning it gently is the best way to form the spiral. And just easily just bring it around. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do another, just kind of adding to the design a little bit. I'm going to bend this here. And then I'm going to come back with it. And again. And again. And then I'm going to end it like that. Now I'm going to just slide my bead down a little bit. Just to see how it looks, and actually that looks really pretty nice, I think. I do need to turn the closure since it's going to hang like this. And then at this point I'll just straighten everything out the way I want it. And I think you can see if you've made, messed around with jewelry and stuff like that, you can probably see yourself right at this moment the options are almost limitless as to what you can do with this. But we're not finished yet. I'm going to take, this is one of my scarves. I'm going to use it for padding. And then I'm going to take a standard hammer like this. Turn this down so you can see. And I'm going to use this flat surface here as an anvil, and I'm going to hammer the copper to flatten it and also to give it texture and character, and it's really quite beautiful. Now you definitely do want to hold the bead off to the end so it doesn't get squished. This is a small jeweler's hammer. You don't really need this. You can use a regular hammer to do this. This hammer cost me about 30 bucks and I use it a lot, so I kind of think it's worthwhile for me to have it, but again, it's not something you need to have. And then you just hammer the copper, which will flatten it. And I'm going to bring it up a little bit further here. And of course, I'm pretty good at this, so like I'm not really too worried about hitting that bead. And then I'm straightening out a little bit here. And you can see how that turned out. It's really pretty. It's just the texture is quite beautiful. It might be kind of hard to see in video. If you actually are holding this in your hand, I think you'd be really happy to know about this because it's really pretty neat. It's very easy to do. And again, you can take it a long ways. Now I'm going to also show you before baking this to bake the bead. I'm going to show you something that I do. It's a finish I do. You would probably see it if you watch some of my other tutorials. This product is Pearlex Pigments. And just need a small paintbrush. And what I do is I like to take, I'm going to just put my scarf away here so it doesn't get all messy. What I do is I take my brush and just touch it into the powder. I don't like immerse it into it. There's really no reason to. The powder goes a really long ways. And then what I do is I put that into the lid. And that I work from the lid. I don't work from the jar. And then I get it on my brush and I put it. I just dab it on the table. You can dab it on a paper towel or something like that, just kind of to get the excess off. And this is, by the way, this color is Reflex Violet. You'll hear me often refer to it as purple, because it basically is a purple color. And you can just brush it on the clay, and so when you bake it, it will basically kind of be embedded into the clay and will last a lot longer. And you also can put a sealer on it if you want to. And I just brushed it on there. I really like this color a lot. I use it a lot. And this Pearlex Pigments, these little jars here, they cost about $6 or $7. I think they might be about $6 or $6.50 or so. And they go a really long ways. So just keep that in mind when you're buying it. If you think, oh, I love purple, I'm going to use it a lot, let me buy 4 of these. You really don't have to. I mean, I've had this jar for about 4 years and it's still going strong. So you can see, I mean, it's got a nice little shimmer to it. And then as far as baking goes, I would, if it were me and it's Sculpey 3, I would preheat my oven to 275 degrees and bake it for roughly 15 to 20 minutes. That's a lot for a little piece like this, but you kind of have to get it going. And baking it for 5 minutes or something like that is probably not going to be enough. So for me, that's what I would do. And just make sure that it's turned the way you want it and all that sort of thing. Of course, that's not going to matter a whole lot. You can change that later after you bake it, because you're not baking the copper, you're baking the bead. And that is that's how you make one of these. They're very beautiful. I also I have done them, and this is a design I did that's similar. Without a bead, and you can see this. They're just quite beautiful. Just come up with a little design that you like. There's all kinds of options, and then you can add your bead as you go. Here's another kind of square shaped spiral design. Here's a design. I'm still kind of working on this. It's I shaped the metal, I hammered it, and then I pressed it into this polymer clay, little kind of piece of polymer clay. This is one I'm still working on that is on a piece of polymer clay. It's a spiral design kind of on the front of it. I really like the spirals a lot. You may have other ideas, but I do a fair amount of these little designs with spirals. I do like them a lot. So and that's basically it. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. I make all kinds of things. I do have jewelry videos. I don't have tons of them. I do mostly fairy related things, but really all kinds of things. And subscribe to my channel. Rate the video. Let me know what you think of it, and leave me a comment. If you'd like to share a picture of something you made after seeing one of my videos, you can send that in any conversation or comments or questions to my email, which is on the About page of my channel. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support, and have a great day.